The Ruta de las Flores is known for its beauty, colorful towns, mountain air, and views that feel almost unreal. But today, I'm not just traveling through it. I'm following a story, a tale of power, resistance, and a woman with an indomitable spirit, whose legend is about to lead me deeper into these mountains than I ever imagined. Before we get started, I'd like to take a moment to thank some incredible supporters: Carol, Lauda, Terry, and Caroline. Your generosity and encouragement help make this journey possible, and I'm deeply grateful. Last week's top comment goes to Yellow. Please know it is a joy to masquerade through this beautiful country as a local, embraced by such wonderful people. I am savoring every moment. Juayúa is truly a special place, and knowing it holds familial ties to someone who has been such an enthusiastic contributor to this journey makes the experience all the more meaningful. To everyone who continues to share your thoughts, thank you. I read every comment, and they mean more than you know. Please keep them coming. I've started a channel membership. If you're interested, click subscribe and then join for more details. Good morning, buenos dias. I am headed out. Still need to pack up and things before I can officially head out, but there are a couple of places here that seem to have chai lattes. I'm going to see if any of them actually have leche vegetal, leche de almendre or leche de coco, oat milk. I don't know what that is in Spanish, or something. One of them has to have something. I almost went right by this place because they're setting up a market outside, and I was coming down the street on the other side of the market, and you just can't see across the street. There's a lot of commotion. But anyway, this place is here. There's no sign on the door. Unfortunately, Bloom Coffee does not have any soy milk
almond milk, oat milk, coconut milk, just cow milk. But they do make a hot chocolate, and you can get that with milk or without milk. So I ordered mine without cow milk. And they also have several other things on this menu. I'm wondering if I'm feeling like day drinking, because it's noon somewhere. Es posible el Simón, pero sin requesón. ¿Es queso? Sí, sin queso.
Similar al cottage, sin queso.
Sin, it's okay, yeah, sin queso.
Sin queso.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Y the espresso martini? Sí. Yeah.
Y un espresso martini. Okay.
Yeah. Gracias.
Permiso.
I don't really drink coffee unless it's been properly improved. And by improved, I mean mixed with something a little stronger or sweeter. Honestly, my favorite way to enjoy coffee is when it shows up with alcohol and a better attitude. Cafe Bloom has a full lineup of brunch options. Fancy toasts, cereals, and artisan bread they make themselves because apparently they're overachievers. One of the toasts can be made vegan if you politely ask them to hold the ricotta. This is the El Simón toast. Avocado, caramelized onions, mushrooms, sunflower seeds, and ground pepper. Basically, a garden party on bread. I even watched this young woman saute the onions and mushrooms and mix the guacamole herself like a brunch magician. Meanwhile, I walked in expecting a simple chai latte and somehow left with hot chocolate, avocado toast, and an espresso martini. My day is starting off well.
This little town is so adorable. It is absolutely breaking my heart to leave it.
Don't know how I can explain. 하루 종일 네 생각에 간절해 낯설어. 나 왜 이런 걸까? You're the cure to all my pains. 널 좋아하나 봐. 널 사랑하나 봐. 이제는 더 이상은 숨길 수 없잖아. 내일 더 아껴줄 거야. 안아줄 거야. We're meant to be, you can't deny. 내일 더 다가갈 거야. 사랑해줄 거야. You're my sunshine after rain. 네가 좋아. 무지개 빈 하늘을 봐. 더 푸르른 하늘과 silver lining in the clouds. 바람결에 내미는 너의 향기 햇살 같은 눈밑 작은 점 하나것이 사랑해주지 않고 못 배겨 baby. 널 좋아하나 봐. 널 사랑하나 봐. 이제는 더 이상은 숨길 수 없잖아. 내일 더 아껴줄 거야. 안아줄 거야. We're meant to be, you can't deny. 내일 더 다가갈 거야.
After saying a tearful goodbye to Juayúa and my quaint apartment, it's time to buckle up and make my way to the next town on the flower route.
Close your got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside, heading for collision and denial. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors. Right. Moments pass, make this one count. Untie. You're so good at dragging yourself down. Why? Well, there ain't much time left to figure things out. Deep underneath all the laser, your doubts. There's a heart gone out of rhythm in despair. Hell underwater, fire for air. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors around. You got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside, heading for collision in denial. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors around. Look at the colors, colors, colors around. Look at the colors, colors, colors around. Look at the colors, colors, colors around.
Welcome to Ataco. Hola. I have no idea what he just said, but at any rate, it's time to continue with Atlakaki's story, which actually brings us here.
Captivated by her strength and beauty, Alejandro demanded Atlakaki submit and become his mistress. But she understood. To him, mistress meant property. Having quickly learned their language, she instead proposed a bargain. If he let her remain with her people, she would teach him how to prosper from the land. Greedy and prideful, Alejandro agreed. Seasons passed. Atlakaki and her people taught the invaders when to sow and when to harvest, which roots to eat and which to fear. Churches rose beside sacred trees. The Spanish imposed their crosses and crowns, but the people cloaked their gods in saints' names and kept the old songs alive. All the while, Alejandro's obsession and desire festered. Every day, Atlakaki tended to his leg. Every day, he demanded she submit. Every day, she refused. Enraged at her rejection, Alejandro ordered her whipped. 300 lashes spread across 2 days. Her back bore the fury of the lash, but she did not cry out. Rumors spread. People whispered she could not be killed. Some remembered La Golondrinera. Others, the sacred ceiba. Alejandro never forgot the harpy eagle and began to fear the truth of pagan prophecy. On the 3rd day, Atlakaki approached Alejandro, battered but unbroken. In exchange for her freedom, she offered one last bargain: a sacred meal of immortality, drawn from the place of high springs, where the finest herbs and most potent flavors danced in the mists. He agreed. The conquistadors followed Atlakaki through the jungle until they reached a clearing where a geyser soared skyward, veiling the air in steam. Around it, glowing herbs and strange plants thrived. She gathered them swiftly, filling her basket, and led the men back to the village. There, she cooked with quiet precision, meat sizzling, tortillas rising, herbs crushed into fragrant paste. Soon, the air itself became a banquet, the scent drifting far beyond the huts, across fields and forest, stirring hunger for miles around. Concepción de Ataco is another unforgettable jewel along El Salvador's famed Ruta de las Flores. Its name, drawn from the Nahuatl language, is often translated as Place of High Springs, a fitting tribute to a town perched more than 4,000 feet above sea level, where the air is crisp and refreshingly cool. Today, it is home to roughly 13,000 residents. Though not the largest town along the route, its energy gives it a presence that feels far greater. Its streets, congested. Its rhythm, unmistakably vibrant. While each village along the Ruta de las Flores is known for its color, Ataco stands apart as the most vivid of all. Murals stretch across its walls. Facades are painted in bold hues, and creativity seems to flow through every street and corner. It is also widely celebrated for its culinary offerings, drawing visitors with flavors as rich and varied as its visual landscape. Cobbled streets, radiant murals, handcrafted goods, and exceptional cuisine define the character of this mountain town. Beyond its colorful streets, Ataco is embraced by rolling green hills and coffee plantations that shape both its scenery and its way of life. Nearby, visitors will find tranquil gardens, thermal waters, and waterfalls hidden within the surrounding countryside. Along its streets, open-air shops invite exploration, offering textiles, pottery, and traditional crafts that reflect generations of artistry, making Ataco not only a place to visit, but a place to experience, to wander, and to carry with you long after you leave. Every now and then, a place grabs your attention with a stunning mural. And at the exact same time, calls to your stomach from across the street. Or, if we're being honest, I probably just locked eyes with a sign that said vegan food and blacked out. Either way, I'm very glad I made it here. Azul Cafe Artesanias is technically a coffee shop, bakery, and restaurant, which is already overachieving. Yet, that feels like an understatement. It's also a textile shop, an art gallery, and apparently a place where your plans for the day go to disappear. Most of what you see is for sale, which is dangerous because now you're not just eating, you're making financial decisions. As I wandered around, tour groups came and went, doing exactly what I was doing, looking at everything, wanting everything, and pretending we had self-control. The space opens out to the fresh mountain air, so you can sit, enjoy the breeze, admire the art, and eat something delicious all at the same time, which feels a little unfair to every other place I've ever been. Honestly, I can't say enough good things about this spot. If I stayed any longer, I'd probably end up working here.
Hola. Hamburguesa vegana sin lechuga. Y tienes leche de almendra perfecto. Chai latte caliente con leche de almendra. No, todo. Gracias. I got my almond milk chai latte.
Like many colonial towns, Ataco is centered around Parque Central, where a charming park unfolds beneath towering shade trees, surrounded by vibrant flowers and lush, colorful plantings. At its center, an elegant fountain lends a sense of grace and tranquility, creating a welcome heart for both locals and visitors alike. Opposite Parque Central stands the church, where the vivid colors of Ataco extend seamlessly into its sacred architecture. Sanctuario Immaculada Concepción de María faces the square with striking presence. The current structure, completed in 2003 after the previous church was lost in the 2001 earthquakes, rises as both a renewal and a remembrance. Its ornate facade, washed in brilliant blue and white, is unlike any other along the Ruta de las Flores. Twin bell towers frame the composition, while a statue of Mary stands gracefully between them, watched over by a clock that marks the passage of time above her. Inside, beauty unfolds with quiet abundance, inviting all who enter to pause and take it in. Rows of walnut wood pews lead the eye forward, their warmth echoed in the finely crafted surrounds of the saints' effigies. Sculptures and painted murals enrich the space, while chandeliers descend from above, casting a soft, reverent glow. Flowers appear throughout, adding color and life to the sacred setting. Light filters gently through stained glass windows in pale hues of yellow and blue, bathing the interior in a delicate radiance. At the altar, Mary stands in serene prominence, anchoring the sanctuary with a presence both graceful and profound. In this stillness, the church reveals itself not only as a place of worship, but as a testament to resilience, where faith, artistry, and renewal come together in enduring harmony.
My next stop is Apaneca,
which I actually passed on the way here, so I'm backtracking a little bit.
Your heart, keep it in your pocket for safekeeping. Don't ever let nobody be the reason you throw it out. You stop caring about it. Don't let your hair get in the way. Can't be defined by your mistakes. You know you try really hard, but sometimes you fall. Yeah, sometimes you fall. Sometimes you fall. Precious cargo, be careful with my heart, oh. Say I'm not sensitive, but I can sense if it's right for me.
Welcome to Apaneca, my final stop along the Ruta de las Flores, where I'll be staying the night. So, naturally, I googled dune buggies because apparently it's time to go off-roading. Now, you know me. You know this is not my personality. This is not my idea of fun. My 40-year-old spine has already been through enough. It doesn't need additional character development. However, given where I'm trying to go, letting this very confident, very young man named Abraham drive me there in what I can only describe as a beautifully assembled death trap feels like a smarter life choice than taking my own car and permanently ending my suspensions career. So, here I am. Here we are. Buckled in, questioning decisions. Let's finish the story of Atlakaki first, because once you hear it, perhaps you'll understand why this ride is necessary. Alejandro was greedy, but wary. As the feast was placed before him, doubt flickered in his eyes. He sent Atlakaki out of the hut and summoned a village child to taste it first. The young boy smiled in delight, tasted the food, and then Alejandro gasped. The boy had collapsed. Alejandro shouted for Atlakaki to return, pointing at the child and claiming that she poisoned the meal. When she entered, she ran to the child in tears. As Alejandro continued to yell, Atlakaki, with fury and grief in her voice, cried, "It was a sacred meal, never meant for anyone but you. This boy is dead because the food was for your eternal life, not his, never his." Mad with fear and desperation, Alejandro paced back and forth all night. In the morning, Alejandro ordered Atlakaki apprehended and buried alive. They journeyed through the jungle to the place the invaders called El Hoyo de las Sombras, a pit the priest said was deep and cursed. Atlakaki laid down. A great stone, the heaviest in the land, was rolled atop her grave. Alejandro's happiness quickly took a turn. 2 days passed. 5 since he'd last been treated. Alejandro's leg turned as black as his heart. Doctors came to help and left utterly confused. Priests whispered of curses and demons. On the 6th day, screaming in agony, Alejandro ordered the rock removed. But the pit was empty. No signs of escape. No footprints. Only earth. On the 7th day, a doctor amputated Alejandro's leg. But the searing pain remained for the rest of his life. Located just beyond the town of Apaneca lies El Hoyo de las Sombras, the pit, once feared by the Spanish as the cursed hole of shadows. Reaching it demands a steep and uncertain ascent, and, with little in the way of signage, the journey is not one suited for inexperienced drivers. It is precisely this rugged path that makes the Dune buggy not a luxury, but a necessity, and why I placed my trust in Abraham to guide the way. He stopped here briefly to show Apaneca below and just how far we've climbed. The tour costs $55. Credit cards accepted. I gave Abraham a $20 tip, worth every penny. The pit, now understood not to be cursed, but instead an extinct volcanic crater, transformed over time into a serene and captivating body of water called Laguna Verde. Today, it welcomes both visitors and locals as a sanctuary of natural beauty. The landscape is imbued with a quiet majesty, an atmosphere of profound tranquility that offers refuge from the clamor of the world. Here, stillness and grandeur exist in perfect harmony, inviting all who arrive to pause, reflect, and simply be.
짙은 안개 속을 걷고 있어 외로운 그 발걸음. It's a long voyage. 정처 없이 떠돌다 어딘가엔 닿을까.
As I often say, in El Salvador, the most remarkable places are found at the end of the most difficult roads. And upon arrival, The beauty more than justifies the journey. The lagoon invites stillness, a place to sit, to listen to the quiet chorus of birds, and to take in the understated grandeur of the landscape. Its surface lies like glass, calm, reflective, and serene. Nearby, a handful of small cafes offer refuge and a bite to eat. Abraham leads me to Coffee Lake, a charming cabin-style retreat overlooking the water. Spread across 2 levels, it offers inviting spaces to sit, sip something warm, and linger with the view. We order hot chocolate, a simple comfort made all the more welcome by the cool mountain air, where even the sunlight carries a gentle chill. But the day moves on, and so must we. There is still light left, and Apaneca awaits. As for Atlakaki, I know you're wondering, how could I leave the story there? Patience is a virtue. After all, this is El Salvador. They say Atlakaki never left the pit. They say she became the stone. Those who believe call her La Roca Viva, the living rock. Legend has it, she just casually appears along the Ruta de las Flores, gracing Apaneca, Ataco, Nauizalco, Socoatitan, and Juayúa. Sometimes near a waterfall, other times beneath the ceiba, or beside the ruins of a village church. Locals say once you see her, she's already gone. A shimmer in the air, a whisper in the trees. But the spirit of Atlakaki remains. She is healer. She is guardian. She is flame and root. And above all, she is free.
That was one heck of a ride. My body is still rattling a little bit and my face was filthy. So as soon as we got back to his shop, I had to go to the bathroom and just wipe all the dust off my face. Or as much of it as I could. At any rate, it's not quite dark yet, but we're getting there. And I definitely want to visit the church before it closes, and I don't know what time it closes, so I'm headed there now. This is easily the most understated church on the Ruta de las Flores. Solid white walls, no stained glass windows, concrete floors, very little ornamentation. But there's beauty in simplicity, and there's definitely beauty here.
La Iglesia San Andrés Apostol speaks in quiet, deliberate tones, its simplicity inviting a deeper kind of attention. Absent are the ornate embellishments that adorn many churches in the region. And yet, this absence feels intentional, stripping away distraction so that nothing stands between the visitor and the message within. The light enters plainly, unfiltered, settling gently across the space and illuminating each detail with quiet honesty. Freed from accoutrement, the eye is drawn to the art itself, each image, each effigy carrying weight and meaning. Together, they tell a story that is both solemn and profound. A call to surrender what is most cherished, to walk faithfully even when the path demands sacrifice. Alongside it runs another enduring theme, the constant struggle between good and evil, and the ultimate, unwavering triumph of the divine. There is a humility in this place, a quiet strength that does not seek to impress, but to endure. It does not rely on grandeur or decoration to declare its purpose. Instead, it stands with a steady presence, grounded in faith and conviction. And in that stillness, without spectacle or distraction, the message resonates all the more deeply. Clear, unembellished, and unmistakably received. Apaneca, whose name in Nahuatl is often translated as River of the Wind, carries with it a sense of motion and breath, an echo of the elements that shape this highland town. Today, it is home to roughly 10,000 residents, nestled at nearly 3,500 feet above sea level, where the climate remains cool and refreshing from day into night. At its heart lies Parque Central, set just beside the church, alive with an energy that feels both familiar and heightened. The square hums with activity, framed by lush greenery and bursts of vivid flowers that soften the stone and brighten every corner. Restaurants, small shops, and local attractions encircle the park, inviting visitors to linger, while murals and handcrafted details appear throughout, quiet reminders of the town's creative spirit. Though I have only just arrived, there is a palpable sense that something is unfolding here. The rhythm of the town feels elevated, as if Apaneca is preparing for a moment of significance, something just beyond view. Upon leaving the central square, the town reveals itself more fully. Colorful facades line cobblestone streets, while local crafts and enduring traditions reflect a culture shaped over generations. In these details, Apaneca offers more than a glimpse into the present. It invites you to step gently into the past, into a place where history is not distant, but lived, remembered, and carried forward with quiet pride. Now it's time to find my Airbnb. So I don't know how much you saw of what was going on, but there's clearly going to be some huge party tonight. And my Airbnb host warned me about it. In fact, he was super sweet about it. He was like, look, there's going to be a party about a block away. It's going to be very loud. There's going to be music and dancing. And if you don't want to stay here anymore, then I will help you find another place and you can cancel free of charge. And I told him I brought a noise cancellation machine. I really hope it's going to do the trick, because now that I'm seeing what he was talking about, it looks like it's going to be a real big party. Like the whole town seems to be interested in attending this party. So now it's time to find the Airbnb and just cross my fingers.
Do you see how I effortlessly get it right? 그리다란다고 다 되는 것도 아니야. You could try it all you want and waste your time. You look ahead, a million people in the line, but I'm one step away until the day I will be gone. Baby, you're a shooting star, a rising star. Name yourself.
This party is not just a party, like it's several blocks worth of party. I don't know if I can get close to my Airbnb because every road to get to it is blocked. So I'm about to contact the host and see what to do.
That's right. It's all about the mindset. Just focus on yourself. It's all about the mindset. Keep moving on. I'm one step
I love that there's a gated carport for extra security. Nothing says relax like knowing your car is also on vacation, but safely contained. The property seems to have 3 units arranged around a lovely courtyard, complete with plants and flowers thoughtfully softening the stonework. Very charming. Very peaceful. Very misleading considering what's about to happen outside. I'm entering my apartment through the back door that opens into the courtyard, and inside, it's giving cozy, earth tone cottage. 1 bedroom with a TV I won't touch. There's an ensuite bathroom with ample hot water. The second room features a small sitting area with sofas and tables. Then there's the kitchen. Mini fridge, toaster, portable stovetop, pots and pans. All the tools I will absolutely not be using on vacation. The front door opens directly onto the street, which just so happens to be closed for tonight's festivities. And by festivities, I mean something that will test the limits of human hearing. If this apartment was a book, then my literature professor would have called these earplugs foreshadowing. Less courtesy, more warning.
After all that, this is a really nice place. The garden is beautiful. There's plenty of space in here. It's spotless as far as cleanliness. The colors are very well put together. The decor is minimal, but just artsy as well. I really like it. It was worth the trouble. So apparently the place that I went to for lunch in Ataco has a location here, but it's about to close. The good news is it's right there.
Now the space between us laughs at all our hopes and dreams was I have fallen from my beliefs. My time stands still while you're dancing in the darkness. You think we should go our separate ways, but I think you're worth the wait. Worth the wait. Worth the wait. I think you're worth the wait. What I never wanted always seems to happen. It's not the way.
I feel like I made it just in the nick of time because they close in like 20 minutes, or at least the kitchen closes in 20 minutes. I got the pasta, the vegan version with soy protein, and they didn't have chai latte, so I got another hot chocolate. Can't be too disappointed. At least I made it.
Stand still while you're dancing in the darkness. You think we should go our separate ways, but I think you're the way we found we'd be together. Come whatever, come with me. And though we're growing old, you're not alone by
That was easily the fastest, most rushed meal I've ever had. But I wanted to make sure that I gave those nice ladies a tip because they stayed late for me. And I know they've got better things to do. Particularly, I'm sure they want to be at whatever this party is. Now, here's the thing. I was told the party was going to be super loud. Cool. The people in the room next to me seem to be celebrating a birthday. I heard that much in Spanish. That situation is louder than this situation is. So I'm gonna head to the party where it's quieter.
Can it just be us tonight? Under the night sky, gonna make my skin rise. Can it just be us tonight? Do you believe in magic? Comes from the inside. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Comes from the inside. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Comes from the inside. Do you believe in magic? 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 Do you believe in
So this party is quiet because it hasn't started yet. They're still setting up. I'm gonna walk around to the other streets, see what's going on. There seems to be a lot being sold tonight. There are a lot of people gathering, so whatever this is, it's gonna be big.
tonight? In the right place, at the right time. Can we fall in love tonight? Do you believe in magic? Comes from the inside. Do you believe in magic? Comes from the inside. Do you believe in magic? Comes from the inside. Do you believe in magic? Comes from the inside. Do you believe in magic? Comes from the inside. Do you believe in magic? Comes from the inside. Do you believe in magic? Comes from the inside. Comes from the inside. Do you believe in magic? Comes from the inside.
I do not understand everything that he's saying, but I can hear him saying, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. So whatever kind of party this is, it's a Christian kind of party. So I just discovered that the Christian party that's going on is not the only party. There's another party going on. We're just right over here because that's got like a separate blocked off situation, and I can see like computer screens going on, so something's happening a block away, just like the owner of the Airbnb said. So I find that very interesting that in this very, very small town, there are going to be two competing parties, two competing music venues. So tonight's going to be very interesting, and I'm just going to call it. It's been a crazy ride through the Ruta de las Flores. Let me know in the comments which town on the Ruta de las Flores you loved the most. I visited in order.
Now Izalco, the place of the four Izalcos. Socoatitan, the city of Quetzalcoatl. Juayúa, the river of purple orchids. Concepción de Ataco, the place of high springs. And Apaneca, the river of the wind.
I would love to know which one is your favorite, so put that in the comments. And while you're at it, since you made it this far in the video, please click the like button. It helps more than you know. I truly hope you enjoyed the story of Atlakaki as much as I did, because it's very close to my heart. And I told you it wasn't going to end the way that you thought it would. Thank you for watching, and good night.
Stay curious, be inspired, find freedom, wander elsewhere. I'll see you in the next one.